Hello children, in previous video we have discussed about frictional force or friction. In this video we will discuss in detail about frictional force. Children, we will again revise what is the frictional force or friction. When two surfaces slides over each other, the force which opposes the motion of one body over the others is called as the force of friction or frictional force. Now, what is the cause of the friction? When we touch any wooden surface like table, we will observe that their surfaces have small irregularities in form of grooves and ridges. When one surface attempts to slide over another, these grooves and ridges get caught with one another and cause the friction. This friction slows down the motion of the moving body. Rough surfaces offer a greater degree of friction as compared to the smooth surfaces. Now, frictional force or friction depend upon the two factors. First one, friction depends upon the nature of the surfaces, and second one, friction depends upon the weight of the moving object. More the roughness of the surface, greater is the friction, whereas the smooth surface offer the less friction. In figure first, both surfaces are rough, so force of friction is very large. And in the second figure, one surface is smooth and other are the rough, so here friction is less. Whereas in last figure third, we can see that both surfaces are smooth, so here least friction. Children, no surface is perfectly smooth and therefore all surfaces offer friction to objects trying to move over them. Now, second topic, friction depends upon the weight of the moving object. In this figure, we can see that the two boxes are placed on the ground in different position, but the force of friction acting on them will still remain the same. Both boxes are the same weight. Although area of contact are both boxes are different. In one case, the one box has more area as compared to the other. In second position, the box has less area of the contact. So friction is independent of the area in contact when weight are remain the same. So we can say when weight remains unchanged, friction is independent of the area of the surface in contact. Types of friction. There are two types of friction. First one is static friction and second one kinetic friction. Static friction. Static means not moving. Static friction is the force of friction acting between two objects in contact while at rest. Suppose a heavy box placed on a rough surface or ground. When we have to apply force on box, it does not move because the frictional force between ground and box is oppose the motion. This type of friction is known as the static friction. Static friction is maximum when the applied force is just short of the force required to start motion, or we can say when we applied force increase just as a static force, then box will be moved. Second type, kinetic friction. Kinetic means moving. Kinetic friction occurs when the applied force overcomes static friction and the object start to moving. The kinetic friction is two types, sliding friction and rolling friction. Sliding means slide to each other. When we slide an object on a surface, the friction produced between the object and the surface is called the sliding friction. Sliding friction is increased with the weight of the moving object. it is difficult to slide heavy object. Second one, rolling friction. If heavy objects are made to roll over the surface to move them from one place to another, rolling frictions come to play. On hard surface, rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. Rolling friction, the rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. So that is why vehicles, large suitcase, trolley, large travel bags, heavy furniture, machines, etc. are provided will cut down the lot of effort required to move such object. To reduce friction, we use ball bearing, means steel balls between wheel and axle of the vehicles. Thank you, children.